So, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hi, I am Stacy. This is Walking in My Shoes, and we are loving my veteran. Um, I'm 2 minutes late this morning. Sorry. If you noticed the background, I'm back at my mom's. She had a minor little setback, and we came up here for a couple of days. So we are here enjoying the lake again. It is what it is this bright hour of the morning, but we are here. So I'm going to get some coffee, get motivated here. It is Motivational Mondays. You know, those times we enjoy so much. So now that I have a little Motivational Monday, a little motivational coffee behind my Motivational Monday, our motivation today is all about mindset. Your mindset can totally change everything about you, and your mindset can be that thing that motivates you to the next step. It's hard for me to explain. It's hard for me to understand. It's taken me 50 some years. You know, I really ought to do this with my mom here because she'd be like, I told her that, because she has. But the mindset, good morning, the mindset that we use, the mindset that we have going forward every single day needs to be part of our motivation. It, it, it changes the way we see the world. It changes how we accomplish things. You know, we can wake up and be like, I just can't do that. I can't do that. Well, when you wake up with that I can't do that attitude, you're not going to do that. When you start waking up and saying, I can conquer this today, I can handle this today, I can do this today, all of those things become who you are. Because see, the truth is that we are a lot stronger than what we think. I can remember thinking that, good morning, Pam, that my life revolved around other people. I'm going to have some more coffee with Pam, who's got the coffee cups up there. My life revolved around other people. My life was dependent upon other people. Everything I did revolved around somebody else. That I could only succeed if someone helped me. That I could only do this if someone was behind me. I had to get permission from my boss. I had to get permission from my spouse. I had to do this. My grandmother, y'all, and this is no joke, my grandmother, my Nana, when David was born, because he was the first one, she told me, you need to make sure his shoelaces are hung out on the clothesline. Now he's born, he doesn't even wear shoes hardly, right? But this is back in the day, and for those some of you people, you will fall out. But back in the day, children wore shoes, okay? But my nana wanted to make sure the shoelaces were hung out, and they had to be hung out by 10 a.m. Do you know my grandmother rode by my house every day by 10 a.m. to make sure the shoelaces were hung out because that's just what we did. And so I found myself sitting in a situation where I always tried to please somebody else. I always tried to say, well, if I didn't get the shoelaces out in time, I wasn't a good mom. If I didn't do this, I wasn't a good daughter. If I didn't do this, I wasn't a good wife. And all of that just kind of got into my head and made me feel like, good morning, Nakia, made me feel like I just wasn't a good mom. I wasn't a good person. I was failing at everything. That that I just didn't have that ability. The truth is you do have that ability. You know, at the end of the day, you don't have to add up to anybody but yourself. Now I know that's a strange thing to be told. At the end of the day, the only person you're accountable to is yourself. Not even your veteran, not your spouse, not your kids, not your mama, not your daddy. The only person at the end of the day you are accountable to is yourself. So getting that mindset about what is right for you. Because let me tell you something else I learned. You know, and maybe going to my mom's has been a life learning thing for me. Maybe this has been a thing that's like, ooh, let's just turn the lights on and let's just start learning today. But maybe one of the things that I learned was that people who seem to make you feel lesser sometimes, like my grandmother, and are your shoelaces on the line every day by 10? And did you do this at this time? And did you? Those people who have that ability to make you feel, I used to laugh, and I'm serious. There are times even now that at my mom, she makes me feel like I'm 12 because I feel like all of a sudden I am her child and not, I'm still her child, but then I'm not an adult child. And so that mindset changes so much about what you do. But those people are incredibly strong. See, those people who make you feel that way, those people are incredibly strong. They are only accountable to themselves at the end of the day. It's not about whether or not what matters to them. They're not swayed by other people. So these really strong, overbearing people sometimes that we think are overbearing are people who are really into taking care of themselves and make their decisions. They don't like get a vote on their decisions. And I can remember doing that. I don't know how many of y'all have done this, but I used to, like, every decision I made, I was like, let's vote on it. You know, like I tell my husband at the time, hey, I want to do this. Oh, now it says my internet. So I'm like, I guess I was funky. My internet was off. Sorry, y'all. So people would have to vote on decisions I make. I don't know about y'all. Did y'all have to do that? Like, I would call my mom and say, hey, I want to do this. And I'm like a grown adult, right? And my husband, hey, I want to do this. And we would like vote. Like, I'd hear everybody's opinion instead of just do it and say, I've done this. And and it's strange because I think we all at some point do that. But to get behind yourself, to get a stronger version of you, to be better at what you do, you have to become strong on your own. And you have to realize that the only person that you are accountable to at the end of the day is yourself. And all y'all are strong. That's where I'm at with this. All are strong-willed. All of you have that ability. All of you can be accountable to only yourselves. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do things for other people along the way. What it means is that Motivational Monday is about digging deep into yourself and knowing you can conquer anything that comes along because you have that ability. We have that ability. We have that capability within us. See, and that's where we need to be. That's where we all need to be. We need to be in this, I've got this, because you do. Because let me tell you something. Nobody does Nakia better than Nakia does Nakia. Nobody is a better Pam other than Pam. Nobody is a better Sarah other than Sarah. So if you are really good at being Sarah or Pam or Nakia or Stacy or Michelle, why in the world do you have to be somebody else? Why? Why do we have to be somebody else? Be you. All by yourself. You don't have to be anybody else. And that's the mindset we all need to get. The mindset is, I am Stacy. Nikki, I think, said many times that her relationship with Richard changed when she handed him a piece of paper that says, my name is Nakia. And that's what we have to give the world, not just our spouse, the world. That's kind of what we have to give ourselves first. I'm Stacy. That's who I am today. You don't have to like me. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to do any of those things. At the end of the day, I'm Stacy. And at the end of the day, I'm all that really matters to me. Not in a bad way. Not in a cruddy way. I'm just Stacy. And that's what matters. I'm me. Nobody else can be a better version of me than me. And that's where we're all at. Where are you? Being the best version of you. That's really what it's all about. Is being that absolute best version of you. And so I think that we forget that. We forget that so many times. We forget that we don't have to be the best version of ourselves because we try to be somebody else. We try to be super mom. We try to be super wife. We try to be super friend. We try to be all of these things. And along the way, we forget to be ourselves. How can you be somebody you're not? Be yourself and be the best version of you because you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worthy. You're valuable. You're important. You're worth it. Be the best version of you. Don't be a version of anybody else. I don't want to be Stacy. I'm a version of Linda. That's my mama. I want to be Stacy. I'm the best version of me. And that is what's important. That's what matters. That's what makes us who we are. That's what makes us stronger. That's what makes us better. That's where you get your motivation to get through the day. Because right now, you are absolutely the only version of you there is. Become the best version of you there is. That's not a version by somebody else. That's not being mixed with other people. That is who are you. And you have that ability to be the best version of you. And it's hard to swallow sometimes. Because sometimes we don't feel worthy. I also want you to remember, and we've talked about this before, you get back in life what you put out. So we hear so often, well, I don't get treated like I'm worthy. Have you ever demanded it? Have you ever treated yourself like you're worthy? That's another key. Have you ever treated yourself like you are worthy? So let me just tell you something. You start treating yourself like you're worthy. You start knowing in your own mind that you are worthy. And you start realizing that you deserve this because you are good all on your own. You're the best version of you. Then what will happen is you will get back that because that's what you're demanding. That's what you're expecting. That's what you're projecting. Ever been in a room full of negative people? You can go into a room full of negative people, and by the time you walk out, you can be in a great mood when you walk in, and you can sit in a meeting with a bunch of people bitching and moaning and groaning and complaining, and the next thing you know, you are exhausted because you are negative Nelly, because everything that has been projected out there is now what you've absorbed. That's how we work. That's what life is about. You know, we talk about in the human body, we have what's called homeostasis. That's a balance of normal. And that is it uses osmosis, technical words, but what it is it wants a balance across the barrier. It wants that balance across the barrier. So I want you to think of your life as like, hey, you know what? You, the little negativity is that little red hot dog that you put up in the water and you boil it. Okay, so that's all that negativity. And before long, all the water that's surrounding that red hot dog is now pink or red. So that negativity pours out into everything it's around. But by the same token, positivity does that. Now, it's easier to be negative because you don't have negativity, is just something that rolls downhill. You know the old adage, shit rolls downhill? Well, that's negativity. It rolls right down the hill. Positivity is a battle. It's climbing up that hill. It's a lot harder to climb up that hill. But positivity is the same way. You put that red hot dog of positiveness in the water and you turn it on and let it boil. Before long, the water around it becomes pink or red. That's because positivity flows out. Ever been to a really good revival? You can go in feeling like doo-doo. That music starts and people are dancing, praising, whatever. By the time you leave, you are excited. And that's what it's about. It's your mindset. So you need to decide today, I'm worthy, and I choose in my mind, first of all, I need to know I'm worthy. Second of all, in my mind, I'm going to choose positivity. I'm not saying negative isn't going to come, but you can stop the negative from rolling downhill right then. You can stop the shit at this and say, oh no, I'm not participating in this. You can go somewhere else and divert it somewhere else, and you keep going. And then you will have a better week. You will have a better day. You will have better because you are worthy and you don't have to answer to anybody but yourself. Do you have responsibilities that don't involve you? Yes. Do we have appointments sometimes we have to keep with other people? Yes. Do we have chores that we have to do that affect other people? Yes. But we're not accountable to them. The only people that matter, the only people we can control, the only person's emotions we can be accountable for and control are our own. You know, accountability sucks, just saying that. Accountability sucks. But once you understand